One of the hardest things for me is trying to convince people that my method, my model has real value. Because to do that, I need to market it, to advertise it, to use all those tricks of persuasion I know so well. After all, I worked in advertising for more than 15 years. I have friends who are brilliant marketeers, and I know exactly how powerful these techniques are. And yet I don't use them. Why? Because most of those techniques rely on what I call a dopamine motivation. You know, the excitement, the hype, the emotional rush that gets people fired up for a moment. And I'll be honest, that's just not me. I'm a rational guy, more analytical, more grounded. And I believe the real strength of my model is precisely there. It's not about temporary thrills, it's about lasting meaning. The problem with dopamine motivation is that it fades. The same way a sugar rush leaves you tired or a drug leaves you craving more. The emotional high doesn't last. In fact, science shows it can even create a crash. Once the energy drops, motivation disappears, sometimes leaving behind frustration or even disappointment. That's why so many big coaching events are designed like a crescendo, and they pump up the energy all day. They get everyone clapping, shouting, almost ecstatic, and then at the peak moment they start selling. Training, subscriptions, expensive programs. But the next day, you come back to your rational state. The excitement is gone, the sparkle is over, and most of that magic doesn't stick. For me, that's manipulation. And I will not build my work on that. So what do I choose instead? What I call serotonin motivation. It's the motivation of connection, of community, of trust. The motivation that builds slowly, but stays. Yes, dopamine has its place, of course, at the beginning of a project to kick off momentum or at the key moment when the team needs a spark. But if you rely on it constantly, you create dependence, you burn people out. As a manager and coach, our responsibility is not to create temporary fireworks. It's to build sustainable motivation, the kind that makes people feel they belong, that their contribution matters, that they are part of something greater. That's not glamorous, it's not spectacular. You won't see the same wild applause, but it lasts. It transforms teams in a way that no quick hype ever could. So yes, maybe my model doesn't sell as well as others. Maybe it's less shiny, less explosive, but I know it delivers value. I know it helps managers and teams in a real lasting way. And that's something I'm proud of, because in the end, leadership isn't about selling dreams. It's about building reality and doing it with integrity. Voila, thank you, see you soon, and don't forget, boost the system.
Clock punch, soul punch, gonna make my own lunch. This ain't my final destination, just another step in my transformation. Time I just can't think.